Okay, going for a take.
Action.
We are going for a take where we get the take of those who work in the film and TV industry on a specifically chosen movie and their time in the business.
Yep, and today's take is going to be on the new Ethan Coen film, Drive Away Dolls.
And we'll be doing this take with the one and only Haiesha Mistry.
Ooh, I feel like we need some like fanfare. You know, when I was watching Lucas' episode, I was like, we need like cheers or like party poppers going off or something. Yo, it's good to have you on, dude.
Thank you. I mean, I
Yo,
didn't
you
expect
gonna leave me
that.
hanging?
Oh, okay, sorry.
It's okay.
There we go. I expected all the party poppers and everything pop out of nowhere, but
I left them at home. I'm sorry.
What a shame.
That's my
Okay,
fault.
see you later. Yeah, thank you so much for having me on.
It's a pleasure.
Excited.
So, Drive Away Dolls. Wow. Some interesting opinions on
We
this.
knew there was going to be some like nervous laughter mentioning that film.
Yeah, it's
Marmite. Very
You
Marmite
either like
film.
it, you either love it or you hate it.
Definitely.
And I hated it.
Wow, he's gone straight in with hate.
It's like
It's a
Simon
strong
Cowell,
word.
yeah. Well, to be honest with you, I'm not a fan of comedies, especially when you don't expect it to be what it is. Like when you watch like The Hangover, you know what it's going to be about, and when you watch other comedies, you know, like Step Brothers, you know what they're about before you watch it.
Yeah.
When we went into the cinema watching this, we thought we were going to watch a heist movie, and it's definitely not a heist movie. Not at all.
I feel like they used false advertisement as a strategy to gain viewers to attend this film. I'm not sure what the target audience was going into it, but now coming out of it, I was aware of what their intentional target audience was. It was basically about two lesbians who learn to love each other and themselves. I think they did that to inspire a lot of gay females and to also, I think, to spread awareness to those who didn't really know much or were ignorant to that sort of to LGBT. So I think it was very smart of them to false advertise the film in that way.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like, it could have been a mix of both in terms of like false advertisement or even just a case of like studios trying to make sure that it reached a larger audience than it might have done if they'd not been as forthcoming with what it was about. So originally it was called Drive Away Dykes. That was the script name, the working title. They wrote it in like the 2000s. Ethan Coen, the director, and his partner, Trisha Cook, I think her name is. And they're in an open relationship and they wanted to write films to sort of like spread awareness about self-acceptance. And they just couldn't get it off the ground back then. And now they felt that they were able to this time. But yeah, I mean, there was a quote from one of the stars in it, Geraldine Viswanathan, I think that's how you pronounce her name, saying that it's been sold as a comedy crime caper with, you know, a stacked cast, legendary filmmaker at the helm. But she says that my dream is that people are tricked into it and then end up coming along on this very queer journey. So it's a case of like, would as many people have seen this film if it had been as forthcoming about what it was about? So potentially there's like an advantage to that too.
Yeah.
Because we were unaware what was about to happen.
Most definitely, yeah. I think that's actually really fascinating that you just read that quote, because it is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
We went in, and even watching the trailer for this film, it's got, I mean, we can give it away, we're talking about it, aren't we? Like, it's got Pedro Pascal in it. We're like, oh my God, so exciting, a crime film, Ethan Coen obviously leading it, and then Matt Damon in it, so it's selling the big bucks, it's selling the big names, and you expect it to not be obviously like The Departed, but you think of like Matt Damon and what he's been in, you think of Pedro Pascal, what he's been in, and the different quirky roles that he plays. So that's what they sold us, and that's what we were thinking. So actually, it is very, very clever, despite us going, hate is a very strong word, but I am on borderline of that as well. But marketing,
what was
power
the
of marketing though, isn't it?
Was there anything like, I don't know, just to sort of quickly summarize now, we're just sort of kicking off and getting the ball rolling, that like maybe was it like a gut reaction to it, or like was there something particularly that you were just like, this isn't sitting right?
I mean, like initially I didn't expect us to watch a film like that. And be invited, shall I say, to watch a film like this. And I thought I really peed one of yous off, genuinely. I was like, what have they brought me in for here to watch this film?
I feel like as a customer, like you don't like being lied to.
Yeah.
So I understand why most people wouldn't quite like it. What I enjoyed about it though was the direction of the film, the cinematography. It was very much like Wes Anderson vibe. It was like it was the perfect blend of comedy mixed with grotesque horror. That's what I liked about it. It hooked you within like the first 10 minutes, like with Pedro Pascal clutching a suitcase, looking over his shoulder. You know, it hooks, it pulls you in straight away, and you're like, what's going on here? What's going to happen next? And then he dies. And so that was a bit. And then you're like, oh, is it going to explore more about Pedro Pascal's character, or
do you know what?
It doesn't.
I thought they were going to do like that was like a flash forward, and then they were going to do a flashback before like he dies of like what happened to get him to that stage, because his character, like, you find out all this stuff and then you find out nothing about his character. All you find out is his head in the trunk of a car, or the boot of a car, I should say.
Spoilers.
Believe it or not. And you know, that's why I didn't like it. I mean, hate is a strong word, and you know, I said hate because you either love it or hate it, the Marmite reference, but there were elements of it that I really liked, and there were elements of it which I disliked and thought it could have been better. I mean, some of the transitions were quirky, you know, like there was a lot of transitions where they last about 10 seconds and it would just be like figures dancing or just colours and like hallucinations. And those, for me, I felt like obviously they've been put in there for a reason, but the reason didn't really feel justified.
It didn't really land those moments. It was a short film, which I was excited for, like, because I need more short films in my life. Like sitting through like 3-hour epics, it's great, but sometimes you just want to go to cinema, just be entertained and just leave and have a good time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was 84 minutes, I think, and it felt like it could have been like 70. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really. It didn't feel like it gave like an extra like I don't know, era setting or anything with the psychedelics. I don't know. Did any of you guys feel that it like gave it something else?
I agree with what you're saying. I feel like there was a lot of exposition in the film that was kind of unnecessary. Like the moment where we saw Miley Cyrus, and where it was the transitions and the shots were getting blurry, and then it was all colour. Like there was a lot of them, and I know it was very symbolic, this film. Like it, you know, there was that thread that was just attaching every moment to the film, and the next, okay, now we're showing you this, now we're showing you that, now we're showing you that. But I think that could have been stripped back. Like once someone's watching the film after 15, 20 minutes, I think they've got the gist of it.
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, that you don't need to keep showing and telling us what's going on. So I think that kind of, it was powerful in the sense that the what's the word that I'm saying? The message that they wanted to put across. But then actually I think it was a bit unnecessary. It was just longed out.
Yeah. And you know what I literally had in my notes? I was like, thank God this is a short film, because it's one of them films where you could like elongate it out and it'd be like a 2-hour film and you'd be like, I wish that was shorter. So I was happy it was short. But, you know, you look at the cast, you've got Margaret Qualley, who plays Jamie. You've got Geraldine Viswanathan,
I think that's
who
right.
plays Marianne. And they are the co-leads, and they're good at it. Like, I think they give each other like a weird chemistry. It's not a classic chemistry, it's like an awkwardness. Like the film, for me, like if you describe that film in one word, it's awkward. You know, there's awkward transitions, fast paced, the moments are short and snappy, but they make sense. And the two contrasting characters, you know, Jamie, played by Margaret Qualley, how do you say her name?
I think it's Quali.
Qualley, yeah. She was very much open to everything, and she was like symbolised in red for the whole film until the end, whereas Geraldine Viswanathan, who plays Marianne, was in blue for the whole film, even at the end. And, you know, red and blue, they're contrasting colours, and there's that idea for me of like that's them being like symbolic of one being red, which the red in the film was that openness, and the blue in the film was that more like wanting to be open, but being too maybe
Reserved.
Yeah, reserved.
Too much of a prude.
Apprehensive, yeah. So it was very interesting to see those two characters develop through the film and their relationship expand.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think it's refreshing as well that we're seeing two female leads
Yes,
in
definitely.
a Hollywood film. It's a Hollywood film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, that screams volumes in the fact that this could well and truly be an art house film. It probably could be looked at as being an art house film.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you know, we're classing it as a short film as well, because it's not your box standard 120 minutes or more. But actually, it's that, like we were going back to before, the marketing of the false narrative of what they're selling it as, but then getting the bums on the seats and getting the audience in, and two female leads, which I don't even think, it's not very common, and it needs to change. And I think with this film and the context of this film, it's allowing that, despite us going, I don't think this is our cup of tea, this kind of film. But I give them credit, and especially for a co-South Asian lead as well.
Yeah.
I think that's really important, because there's not enough
That's really
of that
like,
representation.
it's really interesting that you say that, because it kind of almost like holds up a mirror at us, because like we saw the trailer and we saw Pedro Pascal, Matt Damon, they were the main draws. Obviously seeing Margaret Qualley and like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I hadn't seen the other actress before. I'd seen her like face around, but not in anything particularly. And they were the draws, the males, and then they were a very small part in the film, which again just makes you go, one, it points a finger at like Hollywood in terms of audiences, I don't know, maybe naturally are drawn to those bigger stars because they are. But is it a case where, like, in terms of that marketing, we're in this weird situation now where you have those people who put bums on seats, like you say, and to have that, we need to have those people so that we can promote these female leads, so then eventually they can be the ones that don't need the male stars in it at all. It's just an interesting situation to be in, to have that marketing, and whether it does need to sort of, I'm not quite sure, but manipulate an audience, I guess, into coming in to watch a film.
Yeah, I think, well, the film was actually filmed during COVID, so it was quite a long time ago. And it, I believe it took quite a while, because obviously with COVID, everything took quite a while. So it's interesting now it coming out, and I feel like the industry is evolving every year, every day really. Every film that comes out is a step forwards. I hope. But this film definitely was a step forwards in terms of representation. I think the male characters in it had a very small role to play. Two of the male characters didn't even have names. When I was researching them, they're called the Goons, both of them.
Or the sort of like little double acts. They're like the Muppets,
Dumb and
you know,
Dumber,
those
yeah.
like old Muppets.
But they were referred to as George and Lenny, you know, from Of Mice and Men.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, it's so true, because they were.
Yeah.
They were, the little references like that, I was just like,
Like one was all about brawn and just handled things with violence and physical strength, while the other one preferred to use his words.
And they were both really dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they kill like the antagonist of the film, Coleman Domingo. They just kill him, and you're just like, what, why?
Yeah.
There was some plot twists and turns that didn't feel earned.
No, yeah.
It kind of came out of nowhere, which was nice to have like something surprising, but you expect some sort of like, you can kind of look back at a film and go, oh, I see where those seeds were planted in terms of why a character might react like that. But I'm looking back and I'm like, I see no seeds.
Yeah, yeah, with no seeds planted, it just came out of nowhere, which I liked because it made it like sporadic and it made it you didn't know what was going to happen, and that was important in the film because you don't know what's going to happen.
What was the age rating of the film?
15?
15, yeah.
15.
A lot of the scenes in the movie were quite explicit.
Quite.
And
Quite or very?
very explicit.
Quite.
And I don't think it showed much of that in the trailers.
Well, they probably won't be allowed though, will they?
No.
If it's going across streaming platforms,
Yeah.
they probably won't be able to be allowed.
And during the film, a lot of people weren't comfortable with such explicit scenes. I saw one or two people walk out of the cinema.
There were a couple of walkouts, weren't there?
And I think that begs the question, should false advertising be a crime?
A crime? Wow, that's quite...
Yeah.
It's controversial.
I know it helps garner audience, and viewers, but I feel like some people don't like being lied to and wouldn't like wasting their money on something they thought they were going to get but got something else instead.
I think it depends on the person. Like for me, like going to watch that and thinking one thing and watching another thing, it was a bit of a letdown because you want to see what you see in the trailer. When you watch a good film, and we'll not say a good film, but we'll say any film. Like you look at the Avengers, for example, you watch the trailer, you know what's going to happen from the trailer. They're going to fight someone, they're going to come out victorious. You know, the trailer gives a short sequence of what's going to happen in the film. That didn't give a short sequence of what was happening in the film. That gave a, it's like a catfish does.
Good choice of
We
word.
got catfished.
Yeah.
I
guess it does, like you say, depend on the person. You know, in terms of like, so like we went to see it with Ollie, our mate. He literally watched the trailer before, like we was sat having some tea, and watched it all. And literally, he was like, "I think I know the entire plot." He did not know the entire plot.
Definitely
So
not.
like the trailer is so, it subverts exactly what you are gonna expect when you go and see it. To have him watch it and go, I know exactly what's going on, and then go in and sit down and go, what on earth is happening?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, you know, again, like the type of person you are, you could go in and sit down, and the sort of manipulation in terms of the advertising either could turn someone off. They'd sit down and go, you know, there's almost like a betrayal, or you could have someone sit down and go, okay, well, this is unexpected. Let's just go for the ride. And I don't think any of us know like what an audience will do, because like you say, people walked out. You know what I mean?
Well, people walked out of Saltburn, and I thought that was an amazing film.
People walked out
Yeah,
of that
true.
as well.
Yeah, and that begs the question: does taking risk in cinema, does it pay off? Because I think it does.
Yeah, I definitely think it does. Yeah, and I think we were basically manipulated into what we thought this film was going to be, and actually it was complete opposite, flipped on its head. And actually, thinking about it now, my
Just a little like laugh.
my reservations after we came out the cinema, I was like, what have we just watched? Okay, I don't think I can look at you in the eye. Okay, to actually deepen it and thinking about the film now, and unraveling it, I think it was actually really clever.
Yeah.
The way it sold us what we thought, and it's gone, no, let me just flip this on you.
Yeah.
Let me show you what's going on here.
You think this film is going to be about this?
Yeah.
Let me show you what it's actually about.
Yeah, and
Sit
I
down,
think,
honey.
Yeah, defo. And I think here's a prime example of taking that risk, and maybe that this is where Hollywood is leading to.
Yeah.
That actually, I was going to swear then.
You can swear, that's cool.
Okay, so
Depending on what
Do
they
you wanna
say.
tell me that.
Watch Max like edit out every word from here on in.
So what I'm about to sorry, no, I'm not going to explicitly, even though I've got a really bad potty mouth. What I was going to say is the actual film took the piss out of itself in a way, in terms of the little storylines. Like you got the two guys who were just all over the place. And one was all about violence, like you were saying before, and then the other one's like, no, let's talk, let's be reasonable here. You don't need no violence, and it's that contrasting. And then I just felt like, even when you think of Hollywood films, you think of action films, you think of violence, you think of like Quentin Tarantino, whatever, blood, guts, everything, everywhere. That I just felt like it tried to show that, but it was like, no, you don't need any of that. You don't need any of that. Let's flip it on its head. Let's take that risk. Let's go in that third lane that never existed and just throw this at you, then throw that at you. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. This is our story. This is what we've been writing for like 10 years, did you say, or something?
Yeah, I think they wrote it in like 2000s.
And I think there's actually like there's power in that. That, you know, it's manipulated us. It's actually took the piss out of its own self with the storylines and gone, well, we don't need this and we don't need the blood and gore. That doesn't actually work. Why don't we have the conversation, and especially halfway through where the women have the power. And they have that panic when they find the briefcase and the box, and they're like, what do we do? And then they're like, oh, no, we can use this. And there's power in that, of two female leads having the power. And then it brings it back to two female leads in a Hollywood film and the power of that. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
100%. And I think it's nice to have a film that could be hopefully creating like a safe space for like the queer community and those who identify as lesbian as well, to come in and just watch a film that's like fun, it's provocative, it's free, and it's like you guys were saying about like self-acceptance. And also like sometimes you do just want to go watch a film and not think about the sort of like prejudices that you have to go through and that society puts on you because of who you are and how you identify. You can just go watch a film, kind of see aspects of yourself in it, and just have a good time. It was, for me, like there was like good bits and bad bits, but I was entertained. You know what I mean?
And that's important, to be entertained, because you know this film for me felt like one of those late night films you watch. You know, like The Hangover. You're not watching a film to like get really emotional or like get into it, like really like trying to understand it. You're watching it and you're just thinking, it's so dumb, it's good.
I think it's really great that the movie created such an impact. It such a response, because that's what movies are supposed to do, to make you feel things. And for some people, that wasn't the emotion they were looking for.
Yeah, you don't want to create art if it's just going to give you like a response. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to have some sort of like, again, like you say, like reaction to it.
Yeah,
exactly.
So,
Are you saying it's art, Adam?
No, there was a moment in the film, because like I was saying about so dumb it was funny, right? There's a moment in the film which was so small but so significant for me because it summarized the whole film. And when you go into the car rental place, there's a sign on the wall that says open, you know, like an open close things, which you put on like a window to say if you're open or closed. Now it said open, but the only way you could see the sign was if you were in the store. So from the outside of the store, you wouldn't know if it was open or closed, but from the inside you would. And that basically was it. It was so dumb. It was smart dumb, which made it funny. Like those small details, you just like, it's been placed there for a reason.
the little thing.
Yeah, the little things that matter. But on that note, should we give it a rating?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Which way round?
I feel like Haiesha should start.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
wow, you're trying to guess it on the deep end.
Absolutely, throwing me under the bus. Wow. Wow.
We're going higher
I
from
know I'm
whatever
the
you
guest,
say.
yeah, but do you know what?
I can kick it off if you want.
No, I'll kick it off now. You threw me under the bus. I'm under the bus now.
You can get out of the book. It's all right.
You can like move the bus a little bit back.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6.
A 6. Okay.
Yeah, because I think actually when we looking back at what the film wanted to show and portray, I think it's actually really clever. Despite this is not my cup of tea type of film. It's not, and I think that might be why my reservations of it were like, what was that?
Yeah.
But I think it was actually really clever in the messages that it tried to portray. So yeah, we give it a 6.
Matt.
as you were saying, I was trying to formulate like a response in my head. What score would I give it? What did I give June? Like 7.5?
You gave it quite.
This
low.
is when I give it 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like
higher than June. I think a 6 is about right. Maybe a bit lower. 5.8. Yeah. There were moments I really felt entertained. Like I cried, laughed at some moments. Like it was so funny because I was also laughing at the situation that the 4 of us were in. Like, what have I done? But like, it was really clever in moments. It was really well written. But again, there were just some moments that I thought it was like, this feels a bit like a student film. Again, one thing to point out is though, I don't know if the 4 of us were the target audience.
Yeah.
So
I don't think I was the target audience.
You think you were the target?
I don't think I was.
No, I'm not sure.
Are you sure?
You never know.
Yeah, but it's nice to have films that like people love or hate it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
refreshing.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd give it like a similar number, like a 6.5.
6.5.
It's quite high.
Okay.
I found it quite funny in certain moments.
Yeah.
Like Pedro Pascal's head rolling down the road with the dog chasing after it.
Oh
That's
my
true.
god.
A lot of funny moments.
Yeah.
A lot of like mixed with like grotesque horror, which I really enjoyed, and I feel like it could have had more of that. I really enjoyed the cinematography of it all. It was like very Wes Anderson vibes, and that's what I really loved basically, and I really found that the marketing and the advertising of it to be very clever. So I'd give it like a 6.5.
6.5. Okay. I'm gonna give that a. You know what? After talking about it, it's gonna be higher than I initially thought because now after sleeping on it, you sort of see things you don't see when you watch it. Because coming out of that, I was just thinking, what the hell?
Okay.
What the hell? So
Backtracking just a little bit.
So I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Okay.
5.5. Because I thought it was a decent late night comedy and it made me laugh, and that's what comedy's for.
Yeah.
In my opinion, to make you laugh, to make you feel something. And there were moments where I was ecstatically laughing because I was just thinking, like you were saying, what the hell?
What is going
Like,
on? Yeah.
what is going on? Am I in a dream right now? Like seeing Pedro Pascal's head rolling to a statue and then a dog chasing after it. I'm just like, I don't think I'd see that in cinema, but I did. So I was glad to watch it. I didn't like it, but it's not my sort of film. I like, like nitty gritty, like dramas where you see dark emotion and you're like.
I felt like it could have been like a Wes Anderson's John Wick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
I thought it
John
could have
Wick.
been really good.
Sorry, I had to say that. I had to say that.
It focused more on the sexual aspects of it.
I kind of felt like it was a touch of a modern day Thelma and Louise.
Yes.
They're on, they're going on this road trip and then they come across obstacles. No spoilers of what that was. But yeah, I felt like it was, yeah. But then I get what you mean with the whole cinematography and stuff. But was that was clearly Ethan and who
His wife.
his
Ethan Coen.
partner, yeah.
Trisha Cook.
Vision. Maybe that was their vision of how they wanted to portray it.
Action.
So I guess we're on to a game now.
Film association.
Sounds good to me.
What character? I'm
Actor?
trying to get some hints already about characters. What actor have you chosen?
I've chosen Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh man. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Right.
Who's going
Hit us
first?
up with the first one. Which way? This way?
Let's go.
You want to go that way, don't you?
I do, but we're gonna go that way, aren't we?
Well, we went that way before, didn't we?
Yeah.
So do you want to go this way?
Let's go this way.
Okay.
Oh no.
Am I going first?
Yeah,
you
dude.
go first.
Okay, classic Pulp Fiction.
I was gonna say that. We're gonna go with Avengers.
Snakes on the plane.
Jackie Brown.
Right, I think this is right. 51st Street or State Street. Oh, it's the one with Robert Carlyle. Is it Robert
Okay.
Carlyle?
We'll give it you.
I'll
Yeah.
just just edit this out,
Benefit of
please,
the
if I
doubt.
get it wrong.
Yeah. Avengers 2.
Is that the name of it? Avengers 2?
Okay, Avengers Age of Ultron.
Okay, there we go. That's better.
Skyman, you can't keep saying Avengers.
I'm not.
Hateful Eight.
Django Unchained.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say that.
Hey, good film.
Oh no, my head's gone. I can't think now.
Who's doing the countdown?
Oh no.
Come on.
I can't. It's gone. It's out my head now. I had loads in my head.
3,
3,
2,
I
2,
don't know what that is.
1.
0.
Wait, what was that? Were you doing
was
with your
that?
little like whip?
What?
I was going to say Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Well, it's
So many
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Please Mace Windu.
Yeah. Well, it's not your go.
Is it
So,
Star Wars?
okay. So,
Go
guess
on,
you're
Nick.
out.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna go. Oh, it's a hard one. This, but I'm just gonna go for Star Wars.
Wait, which one?
The one with Mace Windu.
Oh no! You gotta give us a specific one, dude.
Okay.
let's count down.
Star Wars.
Which is called.
Let's just go for.
Oh no, I think he's out, man.
No, okay, fine. I'll say a different film. The Marvels. Captain Marvel. I feel like I should have got that though with Star Wars.
Does it have to be film? Can it be
Film. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Can't keep it snappy, man.
10.
What about your Star Wars? You literally just said it.
8. 2. 5.
Return of the Jedi.
Return of the
No,
Jedi.
no.
No!
It's not Return of the Jedi. It's episode 2. Phantom Menace.
Wait, Phantom Menace is the first one, man.
Never mind.
Because Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Return of the Sith.
It's probably
Wow.
Okay.
So that with conviction, but I said Pretty Women with conviction last time, and I watched the episode and I was wrong. It's Little Women.
Yeah, Little Women, yeah.
And I stayed in the competition.
And I went out
still.
for that.
None of us knew. Wait,
So
was
it's
that?
your go. It's
Did
your
I
go.
win?
No, it's me for you.
Oh,
I thought you were out.
No, I said Captain Marvel.
Revenge of the Sith.
Oh.
A what?
Revenge of the Sith, Star Wars.
Okay.
This is
Captain
the most
America.
chaotic round we've ever done.
Captain America.
Attack of the Clones.
Oh,
he's not in Phantom Menace.
The Winter Soldier.
Oh God. I'm out. No, I'm done.
I just went for every Avenger film to win that. I don't
Whoa,
know.
God, it's
'Cause
stressful.
I was
think
gonna
I'm
say
all awake
Django.
now.
I was gonna say Pulp
there's one
Fiction.
film particularly in my
Django
head
and
that
Pulp
I
Fiction's been said.
He's
I
in
know.
so
yeah,
many.
there's a Netflix one where I think it was like 3 generations of men and it's an action film.
Cool.
And I just the name of it
Is
is
it a TV show?
right staring at me. No, it's a film. It only came out a couple of years ago, but it's this young lad finds his dad, who is Samuel L. Jackson, but he's actually a really famous hitman. And then Samuel L. Jackson's dad is a hitman as well. And then they all go and be hitmen, basically.
Oh, I've
Is he
not-
It might actually
Hitman's
be called the
Bodyguard?
Hitmen.
Oh yeah, Hitman's Bodyguard.
Hitman's
yeah.
Bodyguard.
Well,
Oh, there's
It's a bit too late for
the
that
wife's
now.
bodyguard. There we
Ryan.
go.
Yeah.
Can I come back in the game?
I'm back in.
I'm taking this victory, the first one. Thank God for that.
Ben cheats. He likes to cheat.
I don't cheat. I don't
You
cheat.
play for time,
Same
dude.
movie, part 1, part 2.
So anyway, if I
Part
remember,
5.
Next
I
week
remember
we do like
correctly-
Daniel Radcliffe and we're like just here for 10 minutes just doing all the different Harry Potters.
Do you know what? If I remember correctly, last episode, Luca went June and you went June too.
So?
Right. Anyway. On to you, Haiesha.
Yeah, we should probably
Yeah.
interview our special guest.
Yeah, we should.
We're trying to like big you up now. Then
Yeah.
we like put you under the bus. Made you watch that
Just pulled
film.
you out of the bus now.
Where's
This is
the
your
party
bit.
poppers? No, still. Oh, what a shame.
Did you
What
see
you
that?
wanted, sorry?
It's right there.
Where?
It's gone now. Right, Haiesha.
Wow.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
It's like the opening line of like a really awful date. It's just like, tell me about yourself.
So, what's your story?
In it, there's a story about how I'm gonna leave now.
Oh wow.
I know, I'm joking. So yeah, I'm Haiesha. I'm an actor from Manchester. I've probably been acting for about 15 plus years.
15.
Wow.
I reckon, yeah, professionally and training. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Because you mainly know these guys more than me. Like, how did you guys end up meeting?
Yeah, so I've been going to an acting class called DNA Performance Resource for about, plug to Darren especially.
Darren Gordon.
I like Darren Gordon.
For, let me think now, 10 plus years I've been going, yeah. So I take pride in saying that I'm one of the OGs, but
Yeah.
I am because I'm a lot older than you, so I do feel mega old now. So I am an OG. But I wasn't part of DNA when it first began. But yeah, we're just a collective of actors, like amazing creatives, as we all are. And this is where I met Ben and Adam. I think me and you, Adam, have known each other for a lot longer through class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many years has that been?
I don't know.
Because I've known you for about, I want to say, 4 years.
Okay.
Because I think I was 16 and now I'm 20.
Oh, yeah.
Was I 17? 18? I don't know.
I think 17.
17.
Yeah, I think 17. Wow, I feel old. Okay,
I
cool.
thought you were 21.
I am 21.
Yeah.
I'm 21 forever and always. Thank you very much.
That's right.
The Indian skin is slapping.
Mm.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't feel it, but yeah. But yeah, that's how we met at DNA. Yeah, and we were all like a big fat family.
Yeah.
So you were doing that before you got onto Hollyoaks as well?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I got Hollyoaks. I started auditioning for it in end of 2016.
Cool.
And I was auditioning, I think, for about a good 2 months. So the audition came about in November 2016, and it was mad really how it came about, because I'm theatre trained. I've come from a theatre background. That's where my first love is, and I'll always have a passion for it. It'll always be something so special because that's where I started out. So I started out at the Royal Exchange when I was 15 years old.
Same as you, man.
And then I trained there on and off for I think about 6 or 7 years. Then went to Contact, trained there, worked there as well, and then was just kind of flitting at every kind of arts venue in Manchester just to try and get my experience up, get my face out there, build up my rep as an actor. And then yeah, I was doing a lot of theatre, and it was mad really, because I remember saying to my agent at the time I was doing a lot of theatre, and at the time I had 2 theatre tours in the bag. One was a tour with Contact, and another one was with a production company, and I just did a trailer with them to promote this play, this brand new play that they wrote, and I was already, it was done, like I think half my year was booked in. And then I said to my agent, I just said to her, like, obviously I was auditioning, as you do, you've got jobs already, but you still audition as an actor. And I remember saying to her at the time, I've done enough for it, now I want to get into TV. Cool. Then Hollyoaks came about, and it was a brand new, I think it was at the time, the first ever Asian family that they've had on the show at the time.
On Hollyoaks?
On Hollyoaks,
cool.
yeah. Because they've had Asian characters in the past, but they've never had a full Asian central family. So this was a big thing for me and for everyone that was obviously auditioning for that family.
Sick.
And then, yeah, it came about, and then they had me auditioning for time, I had screen tests. I don't think I did the self-tape, a few of the other actors did. And then it was just that bout, because it was me, it was an actor called Haiesha Yazz, who we know, Harvey, who's still on the show, and Krupa. They're all brilliant actors. Harvey's been in the industry for 20 plus years, like she's an absolute legend. So like big names, man. And yeah, they were all matching and stuff. And I remember saying to my agent, I was like, I want to take this, like, I've done enough theatre, sorry. And my agent was like, look, they're still really interested, but they're just not telling you that they want you to be on a screen test. And I was like, well, can we make a decision? Because look, I've got these theatre tours and they're on my back here about whether, I'm going to get announced as being part of these shows or what. And I don't want to let them down. And my agent was just like, well, this is up to you. Do you want to take this risk or not? And I took the risk, and I let go of these 2 theatre tours, and it paid off.
Yeah.
And I remember at the time, and I'll never forget this, so full circle, and I'm absolutely grateful, and I celebrate gratitude daily all the time. And I'm a patron for a company called Odd Arts, and I used to teach drama alongside auditioning and acting, and I was in a workshop to enhance my skills, my facilitation skills, to teach drama at the time. And I was in this workshop, and I said to the woman, Becky, who's the CEO of Odd Arts, and I said, look, I'm going to have a phone call in this day. I'm going to have to take it whenever it is. Phone call came from my agent, and I remember it was at Z Arts. We were upstairs. I remember getting the call off my agent and going, she's like, you got it. And I ran around that top floor of Z Arts screaming like, oh my God, I've got the job. Oh my God, I've got the job. And I could not believe it. And, you know, it's full circle. I'm a patron for Odd Arts, and I'm so grateful for that now, and just those settings of enhancing my experience as an actor. And then, I've just left Hollyoaks, but I was on it for 7 years. And I got, dude. So the audition came about November 2016, and then I was still auditioning mid-January 2017, and literally I got the job. And I started the following week. I think I got the job on the Friday, and then the Monday I was starting, and it was costume shopping, makeup trials, and then the Wednesday was filming, first day filming.
What was that transition like from like theatre background into the TV, like within a week, and just like
it was mad. It was absolutely mad, because Hollyoaks is my first TV credit. First of many, I hope. And it was just mad. Like, I was obviously learning on the job, and I was practically running. Then walking, and everything was just really overwhelming. I remember my first day on set, like Asian hair, Indian hair, it's really thick, it's really long. And I remember I had a ponytail that was like, it was so funny because the character was sassy. She was big, bold, she just had so much attitude, she did not give a shit.
Cool.
And she was a bully at the beginning, and everybody hated her. And I absolutely loved those reactions. And I had like a ponytail that was here. And throughout the day, I think I had about 3 scenes, and my hair just kept dropping because my hair wasn't tight enough to hold. And the makeup artist kept having to come on set to try and fix my hair. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then I had a lip line, I had loads of makeup on, and I didn't recognise myself because I never really wore makeup at all. So I'd go and like have this makeup trial, I'd have like these outfits on, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on here? Like, this is so surreal. And it was just crazy. And then I watched the show when I was younger, and then meeting the people that I'm like, oh my God, it's Tony. Oh my God, no, that's not what his name is. That's his character's name. And it's just one of them that, you know, you're watching something and then it's your reality, and just kind of allowing that to go, yeah, you've made it. Like, be proud of yourself. Like, you worked hard. And then, even the moment when I didn't let myself elaborate on whether I got it or not, but when the final sort of screen test, they kept me in the room, and they kept changing the mum that originally was meant to have a dad, the sister, they changed all those 3 actors for the characters, and they kept me in the room. And then I just didn't let myself dwell on it, but I was like, I think I might have a chance.
Start to get a good feeling.
Yeah. And they just kept changing everyone, and then me, and then and I was just kind of like, don't. And then obviously, then I got it, and then it was mad. And then Rishi and Ijaz joined a few months later, and then it was a big family then, and it was mad. And I'm grateful for that show for loads of things, and the Maaliks in particular, because we've kept in touch all these years. And I'll never forget those moments, those first moments when I got the job.
And when you went into that, did you feel a big transition? Because for me, like, when I look at soap and I look at theatre, there's similarities in the sense that they, you know, when you watch a drama, you've got to be, TV acting and theatre acting, in my opinion, are completely different. There's elements that are the same, but there's a lot of elements that are different. When you go into a soap from theatre, are there that differences, or do you think there's quite a lot of similarities that help?
I think there's kind of minor similarities in the sense that it's a soap, it's a little bit of melodrama. Like, you've got to heighten things up. Like, you get a page and a half script that's so dramatic, and you've got to play that.
Yeah.
And even
stakes
though,
are high.
Always. Definitely. And like, I know for a fact, and I do try and say this, that the way I acted on the show wasn't me as an actor acting. It was me, what I needed to do for that character. Does that make sense? Like, she was so big, she was so bold, she was expressive, that it needed that. And if I didn't have that my character wasn't alive, she wasn't there. So you do need to have it heightened. but then at the same time it needs to be very minimal, and
Contained.
and even the cameraman, or you asking the cameraman, what shot is this? So then you want to fly out your arms around, you can't do that because the shot's here, or the shot's here and your arms are not in shot, or it'll just come at you and zoom right in, and then it's just a big fat close-up. So it was learning the tricks of the camera, and in a way, like the favouring camera and what that means, and getting on your mark, and I can't even.
What does that mean, favouring camera?
So it's a sense of kind of angling your body to favour camera. Just little things like not blocking the light, or like if you've got the shadow, or you've cheated the shot, but obviously when you're watching the episode back, you don't know that they've cheated the shot. That's the magic of TV.
Yeah, it feels awkward. Like,
and
why
then,
would I stand here? That's not natural.
So I'll be sat here, film whatever, and then I'll be like, there, your take, Adam, or whatever, and I'm like this, trying to do the take so that you can see me, and it's so awkward. Yeah. But it's tricks of that become second nature, and even took me absolute time to hit my mark. Yeah. I was so bad. It was so funny. Like, all my crew would take piss out of me all the time. And I think it probably took me about four, no, I'm exaggerating here, but it could have been 4 years in. And I started boasting. I was like, guys, hit my mark. Hit my mark, once we called cut, I was like, hit my mark. Hit my mark. And last time, one of my cameramen tried to throw me on the bus. And he was like, did you move? Did you move out of shot? Because we did a take and it wasn't right from the rehearsal. And I was like, don't throw me under the bus. I'm on my mark, thank you. I've hit my mark. Yeah. And I was dead proud of myself. I was like, hit my mark, I hit my mark. And for me, that was such a mad thing, because I've never done that. And the art of not looking where your mark is, and walking and going, oh, there it is.
Whatever, just like kind of, you just have a sense of it.
And it was technically that I really had to learn what I needed to do, and just kind of relax into all of that, if that makes sense.
And just going off that, how do you feel like your process has developed for your time on Hollyoaks?
I think it's evolved a lot, to be honest, because I did this job day in, day out for 7 years. Like, it was second nature for me. I could look at a script a couple of times and I've got it. And even especially in a continuing drama, things change constantly. Like the amends, the scripts get rewritten. You're always running. You're always on your feet. So you can't relax. You've got to expect the unexpected. Yeah. And you've got to be mindful of that in any profession, but especially in the acting world, you've got to expect the unexpected. And even, I would try and plan as much as I can and try and prep my scripts, but then I'll be doing a 12-hour day, and then the schedule will change during that day for my next day. And then I have to go home, finish at 6:45 at night, go home, learn my lines for the next day, and then I'm back on it again. And it was just that constant cycle of adapting to that and keeping your mind fresh, and even keeping yourself motivated as well, because I had a lot of hard-hitting storylines, so I'd try and have a laugh in between takes, and that was kind of like my joy or release in terms of I remember one of my last kind of storylines, I think it was kind of April last year. I was sat in a hospital bed, and my character Yazz was loads of things happened, and I had to cry all day, and I just kept taking the piss, and I just kept laughing my head off, and I'd be tucked up in this hospital bed, and have my phone, and have my scripts, and have my book, have my protein yogurt, and have loads of snacks underneath, and my crew would take the piss, and what are you doing? And I'm like, just eating, calm down. And that was my little release of trying to not dwell on the fact that I've got to be really upset all day. So that was that balance of putting the work in but not taking the work home.
Still finding the joy in it as well, even if the character's in that place.
And just allowing yourself to go, okay, here's the settings, this is what you need to do as an actor, this is what the scene requires, the character requires, but this is not you.
Cool.
If that makes sense.
Definitely.
That line of that's what the character is, that's what you need to do for the character, but here's you, and the reality of that swapping out of character and then into you.
Just being able to step in and out.
Definitely.
So what's like next for you then? Like, what you got coming up?
So I'm doing a play next month called Gaines. It's written by Nasima Begum, who's one of my best friends. She's an incredible poet, and I'm going to be doing that on stage, going back to stage.
Back to your roots.
Back to my roots. Yeah, which I'm dead nervous about. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I'm excited for you.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm excited. I'm excited, but I think I'll probably have a little moment.
We'll be there in
back
the
on
audience just
stage.
hyping you
I was
up.
going to say, yeah,
We'll have the party poppers.
Yeah, listen, I want the party poppers, yeah.
yeah.
If I see you there,
This is
I'll
for
be
you,
waiting.
Haiesha. You say it popping already.
But yeah.
When is that, did you say?
So I think the dates is the 17th to the 24th of April.
Cool, okay.
So yeah, so I'm doing that next month. And it's a company with her production. So yeah, I'm really excited about that.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, so going back to theatre.
Cool, exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure to have you on. It
Thank
really
you.
has. And it's a pleasure as always with you guys. You know?
As always, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming back. Thanks for not walking out of the film.
I
Yeah,
say-
no,
Like, what if I just watched? Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.